Calling 911 early and effectively in emergency situations is crucial for the survival of the victim or victims in need of help. However, in these situations, things can get a little chaotic to the point where nobody does call 911. Designating a person or multiple people with a set command chain is important to ensure that medical services or emergency response units are contacted in an appropriate time. Now let's just make sure that the person making the call has the necessary information and is well versed to communicate with emergency services and guide them to the appropriate location. Hi, I'm Sergio with A&H Safety, and in this video, we will go over why having a designated emergency caller is important and what they should know before being designated. Calling and requesting for emergency medical services is more than just dialing 3 numbers. Especially if you are working at a remote work site where there's no physical address or the incident took place in an area on site that is difficult to find or reach. First and foremost, there must be set procedures and policies for responding to emergencies at the workplace. This can be developed and implemented through an emergency action plan. If you're unsure what that is or why it's crucial for your workplace, be sure to watch our video which explains just that. Now, within that emergency action plan, you will note down the person or persons designated to call emergency services. Once you do, be sure that the designated individual is aware of their responsibilities and have the necessary tools and resources to carry out this task. A good place to start is ensuring that the individual has a means for calling emergency services, whether they always have a cell phone on them, given that there is reliable service in the area, or having a landline phone on site that is readily available. Once we ensure that the individual has a reliable phone to make the call, provide emergency contacts. This can be 911 itself, the fire department number, the number for the police department, the safety representative for your company, etc. Different emergencies will call out for different professionals, but if you're ever unsure, call 911 and the dispatcher will send the appropriate emergency services to the scene. Okay, so now the designated caller has made the call. Will they know what to say to the dispatcher? The caller can feel immense pressure or feel nervous when making such a call. So make it easy on them and provide them with the necessary information before an emergency occurs. Obviously, all the information needed to be communicated cannot be foreseen, such as the emergency itself and the condition of the victims, and that will be communicated to the best of the caller's ability. We can help the caller be ready for this by discussing the critical things they should communicate to state the emergency to the dispatcher. This includes describing the emergency itself, how many people are involved, and the general condition of the victims. Be sure that the designated caller understands that they should follow any instructions from the dispatcher and to make sure to stay on the line until the dispatcher has told you it's okay to hang up or until they hang up themselves. Other critical information they must know and communicate is the location of the emergency. This may seem like a simple thing to know if you work in a building or office with a physical address, but that isn't always the case, especially in construction. It gets tricky when the emergency occurs in a remote work location where there may be no physical address yet, or the area of the emergency is hard to reach or find because of its location within the worksite, or locations where major streets are shut down or closed due to the work. So, before beginning work on the site, and while developing your emergency action plan, be sure to develop clear directions for the designated caller to communicate to the dispatcher. If there's no physical address, include names of major streets or intersections, or coordinates to the location. The quicker this information is communicated, the quicker help will arrive. If we take the scenario of an emergency occurring in a remote location, and we assume that the designated individual has already called and emergency services are on the way, what's next? Well, it's ensuring that the medical services are flagged down and guided to the scene. This process can consist of having the designated individual out on the main street, entrance of the worksite, or basically any place where the emergency unit can find them based on the directions that they were given. Once the individual successfully flags down the emergency unit, they can calmly guide them to the emergency scene. And now, the victim has the professional help they need thanks to the designated caller. I hope this video has given you a better understanding of what a designated emergency caller is, why they are important, and what we can do to ensure that they have all the necessary information and resources to carry out this crucial task. If you have any further questions on this topic, or just safety in general, feel free to contact us using the information provided below. We'd also love to hear from you guys in the comments. Have you ever had to call 911? What tips do you have when speaking to a dispatcher? Also, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms to stay updated with our latest safety tips and tricks. And as always, until next time, be safe and thank you.